Hi, welcome to Harris Motorsport Reviews. I'm your host Jordan Harris, and today I have a Nissan Qashqai. The original Nissan Qashqai came out in 2006. This particular model is a 2015. It shares its platform with the Renault Kadjar. Although the Nissan Qashqai that I've got here is a 2015, the particular model I have is a 2018. Now, I know I've already reviewed the Qashqai. I'm going to leave a link to that here. But what we're going to do is go over some of the main changes that they've done between that Qashqai and the new Qashqai. Those changes are, one, the engine. The engine is decreased from a 1.5 litre turbo to a 1.3 litre turbo. And second, they've updated the infotainment system. It's now much better to look at, but we'll go take a look at that right now. As we started with the engine, we might as well check that out first. So we'll open it up by pulling that down there, and we'll come round to the actual engine itself. Now, to get the clip that's just under here, push all of that up and we'll take a look at the engine. As we can see, it is slightly smaller. They've decreased it by about 200 cc's, so from a 1.5 to a 1.3. They've made the turbo slightly bigger, so the power still remains the same. You can get a diesel engine, of course. Petrol's probably better than diesel, but it's really a choice of what you actually like. We can get that shut down now because we've had a little look at that. The biggest change that Nissan have done to the interior is they put in a new software update on their computer system. So it just makes it visually much more appealing than it used to be. It still works in largely the same way. You enter your destination on your sat-nav. You still got, your radio and all those functions as well. But it's just nicer and more appealing to look at. The user interface is just easier to use than it was before. Having that extra colour really does help. The old one was just blue and boring. It looked like the old Sky, if anyone remembers that. But this is way better. It's far more modern, more up to date, and more what you'd expect to have in a new car.
With that out of the way, let's take a look at what's the same with the Qashqai.
We're going to start up by looking at the exterior of the vehicle. The exterior of this particular one is a much improvement on the previous generation. The previous generation was a little bit too boxy. It wasn't even particularly good looking. This is far more aggressive in its body styling, and in my opinion, I think it looks much better for that reason. When you come out the back, you can still see design cues from the previous generation, particularly in the lights. They're much more updated than the older one, but you can still see where the original style came from. Whilst we are up back, you might as well have a look into the boot. You do get quite a bit of boot space in this car, and on top of that, if you wanted extra space, you can take these apart. The Nissan Qashqai does feature these alloy wheels that are unique to this vehicle. If we head up to the back of the Nissan Qashqai, we do have 3 seats here. You can fold the middle seat to get your 2 cup holders. You got a place here to store some whatever you want in there, and another little cubby hole there. It's pretty comfortable in here, to be fair, and for me at least, there's plenty of headroom. Also in the dome light area, we do have this button here. Down by the driver's wheel, we do have heated seats. We also have a storage area which has this little compartment which you could probably just store a phone or a wallet in there, or a bigger one where you can store lots of things. The seats are electronically moved. Some of them are moved manually, but this particular one is electronic, which is pretty nice. As you can see in the speaker, we do have a Bose speaker all around. Now to see what it's like on the road. It's actually pretty quiet in here. You can hear the engine a little bit, but then that's normal for a car this size. But the road noise is pretty good. Yeah, it's very good, the road noise. It's more of a family car. It's quite a large family car. I do think when you're going into tight spaces, it does feel like it's, what's the best way of saying that? Too wide. The car is kind of too wide. Where I actually live, it's the parking sensors are beeping at me like crazy just to get around to where I park. It does its purpose really well. It's not the sort of car you want to speed around tight and corners or high speed runs. It's not designed for that at all. It's very much a family car, and it does that really well. You got plenty of space in the back. is actually really economical, especially if you got the diesel version. I've driven the diesel one before and I was on the motorway getting like 70 miles to the gallon. It's crazy. This particular one is a petrol though, so it doesn't quite do quite as well. But yeah, it's a good car actually.
The Nissan Qashqai is a great buy. It's stylish to look at, well equipped, very, very safe, and all round pretty good. The boot space is okay. The Kadjar is slightly bigger though, but when you put the rear seats down, there's a lot of space down there. The engines are powerful enough. The older engines that are slightly bigger did have more torque though. However, the newer ones are slightly more economical. They're pretty good on the road tax at £145, and the insurance groups are 13 to 21. There are many reasons why you should buy a Nissan Qashqai. As always, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. It means a great deal to me, and until next time, thank you, bye-bye.